Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Thursday, October 28th, 2021 regular meeting of the Lake Forest Board of Education. As usual, if you would please join me for a Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. As a reminder, the session is both being recorded as well as streaming online. So welcome to anyone who has joined online as well as everyone in person. We will start this evening with roll call of board members. Mrs. McCloskey. Here. Mrs. Starkey. Here. Mr. Thomas. Here. And President Earl Dempsey serving as chair as president as well. Mr. Rao was unable to join us. We have 4 board members present. Thank you for being here. We'll move on to 2.4, approval of agenda. Mr. Thomas.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2.4 is the agenda for this evening.
Second.
Have motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
2.5 approval of minutes. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2.5 meeting minutes from October 28th, 2021.
October 14th.
I'm sorry, October 14th. I apologize.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm sorry, I have to abstain. Any opposed? Abstentions? 1 abstention. So motion will carry 3-0 with 1 abstention. 2.6. Citizens participation. It's the opportunity for members of the public to address the board. We'd ask for anyone in person to sign up as you walked in the door and anyone online to contact the superintendent's office ahead of time. I'm getting signal that we do not have anyone signed up this evening. So we will close the citizens participation and it will open again next time. I skipped over 2.6. I was on the wrong agenda. Should have taken the printed copy. 2.6, I skipped over. We do not have any this evening, correct? All right. We are on to section 3 reports. Starting off, do not believe we have any financial reports this evening. So we are on to 3.2 superintendent report. Dr. Lucas.
Thank you, President Dempsey. Good evening, Spartan family. Tonight, I'd like to start things off by thanking and congratulating our school nurses. Despite being severely understaffed for several weeks and being confronted with a greatly increased workload due to COVID, our nurses stepped up and have performed their duties admirably. These are some highly professional care providers. Aside from direct patient care, our nurses administer medication, conduct vision, hearing, and posture screenings, communicate with parents and administration, and of course, work with Department of Public Health doing COVID contact tracings. Needless to say, their plate's been full this year. Nurses are a blessing for our community. Couldn't operate schools without them, so I'd just like to send a thank you out to our nurses. I also want to thank Mr. Brown, the administration at Chipman, and Ms. Glacken for inviting me to the induction of the new members of the National Junior Honor Society, along with Ms. Starkey. And I think we had 37 new students inducted to the National Junior Honor Society over Chipman, so congratulations, students and families. That's a great honor. Next couple of months really requires us to pay attention to our school calendars. We have a lot of special days coming up. This Monday, there is no school for students due to professional development and grade reporting. Then on November 11th, there is no school for Veterans Day. Of course, schools are closed for students the week of November 22nd to 26th for Thanksgiving. And just a reminder, there's only one board meeting in November, the 18th. And tonight is the last night that we will entertain public comment electronically. Of course, we welcome and encourage your feedback here in person. or directly at your home school or the superintendent's office. But we have not been getting a lot of citizens participation via Zoom, so we're just going to do it here in person. Some important dates for the choice season, which opens up Monday. The application, online application opens Monday, the 1st of November. Closes the second Wednesday of January, the 15th, or excuse me, the 12th, and then parents will be notified February 28th with expected response by March 18th. And this is all posted on our website. And that's all I have for our superintendent's report tonight. Yield the floor back to you, Mr. Dempsey.
Thanks, Dr. Lucas. Any questions or discussion for Dr. Lucas and his superintendent report? All right, thank you again, Dr. Lucas. 3.3 LFEA report, Mr. Ben Black. Welcome, Mr. Black.
Thank you. Good evening. So first thing is just that it's great to be back in the building again throughout the year. Members have been glad to be in the presence of students, working with students, and we're about to reach the end of the first marking period, and we're working hard to make sure that students are where they need to be, grades are finalized, and obviously giving grace to those students who have had to miss days for various reasons. So we're working hard at that. The only other thing is that DTGSS, the new teacher evaluation system, is starting to roll out a little bit more. We're, as you all know, we're part of the pilot, one of the pilot districts in the state this year. I was able to go to a DSCA meeting last night about DTGSS. It's challenging. We're making it work in this district. The challenges we have are by no means on the part of the administration at any level. The OB is sort of writing this as we go. Our administrators have been great, but we're getting there. We're learning it. It's an interesting system. It's a new one. It's a bit of a paradigm shift, and I'm sure we'll be successful in the end. That's all I have.
Great, thank you, Mr. Black. Any questions or discussion for Mr. Black? All right, thank you again, Ben. We're on to 5.1. We're on to section 5 discussion items. 5.1, the 2021 to 2022 return to school. We're back to Dr. Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Dempsey. Good news is there's not a lot to report on our return to school front. Schools remain open, and while the numbers of COVID cases decline steadily, we're still having numbers of staff and students testing positive. So just a reminder that please stay home if you're ill or and get tested. Beginning next week, we will have in-school COVID testing available from Cadell. They'll be at a different school each morning, and free testing for asymptomatic persons will be offered. Schedule will be live on our website tomorrow, so you'll know when they're coming to your school. And I'll also send out an all-call with that information to try to disseminate it as effectively as I can. But once again, testing's free, voluntary, and asymptomatic persons only, people who don't have symptoms. As we think about moving into the winter season, I want to let everyone know we'll continue to host as many of our traditional indoor events as possible. Modifications such as masking, screenings, and social distancing may be required. So we ask for your cooperation to support our students and allow them to participate in as many events as we can. That's all I have this evening, and I'll yield the floor back for questions or discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Lucas. Questions or discussion from the board regarding report on this school year?
I do.
Mrs. Stark.
The testing, is that for students and staff? So students can be tested. Now, what about like parents or siblings? Like, is that possible, or is it just people in the school?
No, that's a good question. It's for students and staff only. And our goal is with staff being required to either be vaccinated or tested starting on November 1, is to create an option for staff to be tested. So the goal is to get them tested first in the morning, and then any students that get permission to be tested will be allowed to be tested as well.
One more question. That permission, does that come from parents or?
It does.
Yeah, okay.
There's an online link. The parent just fills out the permission slip online, and once they don't have to do it once, and once they've approved their student can get tested, then anytime their student wants to get tested, they can.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any additional questions, discussion? All right, thank you again, Dr. Lucas. On to our action items for this evening. We'll start with section 7, Mr. Thomas.
Section 7 amendments, I make a motion to approve resolution 7.1 is written.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 9 personnel resignations, I make a motion to approve resolution 9.1 and 9.2 is written.
Second.
Have motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 10 personnel, I make a motion to approve, retirement, I make a motion to approve resolution 10.1 and 10.2 is written.
Second.
Have motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 11 personnel rescind, I make a motion to approve resolution 11.1 and 11.2 is written.
Second.
Have motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
12 personnel transfers, I make a motion to approve resolution 12.1 and 12.2 is written.
Second.
Have motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
13 personnel offers of employment, I make a motion to approve resolution 13.1 through 13.5 is written.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
16 personnel leaves of absence, I make a motion to approve resolution 16.1 and 16.2 is written.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, move to a vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
20 personnel appointments, I make a motion to approve resolution 20.1 through 20.5 is written.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
22 other business, I make a motion to approve school choice 22.1 as written.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you, Mrs. Starkey. We're up to section 26, board report discussion items. 26.1, good of the order. Opportunity for board members to discuss anything not otherwise covered on the agenda. Mrs. Starkey?
I was just gonna say just how wonderful it is to see everybody at I Love Lake Forest Day and coming in here today and seeing all those cars at Central for the haunted hallways, parking lot, I don't know what you want to call that. And even just the sporting events and homecoming, just over the last few weeks, we've had so many things happening and just feels really good to see people out and about again. And good job to everybody who's been involved with that.
Anyone else? Mr. Thomas?
I just want to take my hat off to everyone sitting in this room along with your staff. You know, it's been a challenging year and we're making it through. I was in North the other day and talking to Mrs. Gerald, and I especially want to thank the nursing staff because I was there when she received a couple phone calls and they weren't very pleasant. So I just want to thank the nursing staff as well, especially kudos to them. And I don't know if you guys saw the other day, the field hockey team, where they were playing the team. The girl was, she had Down syndrome and they allowed her to go down and score a goal. I take my hats off to the field hockey coach and the team for allowing that as well, making that happen.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thomas. I had a list here and everyone covered everything. So that's great. We're all on the same page. Certainly, the one thing I'll go a little further to say was, homecoming was fantastic. Hats off to the high school. And I know it was maybe mentioned at the last meeting as well, but anytime as a parent, you have 3 high school boys that go to a dance and all come home happy, something went well. So, hats off to everybody there. And I know we have instances like that going on in each and every school. So great job to all. All right, seeing nothing else. Yes.
I just want to recognize Ms. Short in the back, our new administrator at DEC. We give a round of applause. Randy's been our acting administrator and just recently was appointed to a permanent role based on her current license, new licensure. So congratulations on that. And best of luck down at DEC.
Thank you.
Recently, as in 5 minutes ago. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So, I do not believe we have a need for executive session.
No,
Dr.
sir.
Lucas, any board member with their, it's okay. All right, so I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Before we adjourn, I will point out, as Dr. Lucas mentioned, our next meeting will reconvene back here Thursday, November 18th at 7 p.m. For our single meeting in November. So with that said, motion on the floor for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0. The board stands adjourned at 7:19 p.m. Thank you all. Have a safe weekend.
For those